Hey, what's up? My name's Adam. I'm 38 years old. I'm from Sydney, Australia. My friends call me Keys. That's why the YouTube name Keys1. I've been living here in Thailand for just over 3 months now, and I've just reached 5,000 subscribers here on YouTube. So I wanted to take this opportunity, firstly, to thank everyone for the support. I'm feeling the love. It's been great. I'm really enjoying the success. The success is only small at this point, but everything's trending in the right direction. So I'm very, very happy. This video today is for you to get to know me a little bit, sort of answer some frequently asked questions I get about me, and you can get to know me more personally. So it was an interesting series of events that got me to be here in Thailand now. So I left Korea in December 2019. I flew back to Australia just for Christmas. I only went with a small bag. I was only planning to spend a few weeks there, but I go to Australia every year over Christmas to spend Christmas with my family. In February 2020, I left and I went to the Philippines, and then I was supposed to bounce back to Korea after that. So when I was there, everything started getting a little bit weird. And in the media, all the news I would see, everything was like, COVID's in Asia, basically. So my thinking was, I'll shoot back to Sydney, spend a few weeks there and, wait for COVID to blow over. I was so naive about the whole thing. I literally thought it'd just be a few weeks. So flew back to Sydney and then basically got stuck there for over a year. So I think it was 14 months in total. In that time, I was just like looking for places I could go. I can't get back to Korea, and I still can't get back to Korea. And Thailand was one of the first places that opened up that I was interested in living in. I've been to Thailand a bunch of times. I love it here. And I've always wanted to experience living here at some point in my life. So yeah, I sort of took the plunge and came over, and yeah, here we are. Sawadee Krap, Sobaidi Lupao, Chan Chuadam. That's it, that's all the Thai I know. I don't know any Thai. I'm working on it, I'm learning it slowly. It's very difficult, but for Korean I was quite good. I lived in Korea for 2.5 years, and they don't really speak English there at all, really. My friends did, but you basically need Korean to get around. So 안녕하세요, keis1이라고 합니다. 서울에서 한국어로 공부 많이 했어요. Yeah, there you go. I haven't spoken Korean in a long time. I text my friends and stuff in Korean still, but I haven't actually said it out loud for quite a while now. So this is my top 3 most asked questions. I've got a background working in hospitality. So after school, I worked in hospitality, cafes, bars, restaurants, hotels. I was at a management level. I was earning quite good money towards the end, but I've never had money. I travel a lot. So anytime I would get money, I end up spending it all on travel. But I'll go into money a little bit later on in this. So basically worked in hospitality. Started in cafes, restaurants, bars, and then ended up in hotels where I spent about 5 years. And then when I left there, I started traveling, and I don't think I'll ever have a proper career type job ever again. I hope not anyway. Okay, I'm gonna need to read this from my phone because I've traveled quite a bit, and I always forget when I just try and say it. So I've been to Thailand. This is my 7th time in Thailand. Korea, I went twice before I lived there. Then I came and went a bunch of times when I was there, but I traveled there twice on holidays before living there. Been to the Philippines 5 times. The Philippines is a good stop. So anytime I travel from Korea to Sydney or vice versa, it's actually cheaper to go via the Philippines and stop in the Philippines, and I usually spend a week there. So on a lot of trips, either way, I would stop and spend a week in the Philippines. I love the Philippines, and it's a great place to sort of squeeze a little holiday in. I've been to Malaysia twice. I've been to Japan twice. Japan is probably my favorite country to visit. It was always my ultimate bucket list was to see Tokyo. So really cool place, and I'm trying not to go there too often for that, and I'll explain why a little bit later. Been to Cambodia, been to Vietnam, been to Taiwan, been to Singapore, been to New Zealand twice, been to the USA, and then I've also been Fiji and Vanuatu. So done quite a bit of travel. So you can see why I've never had money ever in my life. It's a really tough question for me. Korea was always my ultimate place to live. So I had a Korean girlfriend in Australia for a few years, and I got to learn about the culture, and I liked the food, and became interested in the music and things like that. So for me, living there was always a dream. And I think for the first 3 months or something that I lived there, I was just I was on cloud 9. I just felt like it was a dream. It was really, really amazing for me. So now living here in Thailand, this is the 2nd country I've experienced living in, and I've learned a lot from my previous trip in Korea. about how to live in a new country. So I'm having a really, really good time here. Even though there's all the restrictions and everything, it doesn't bother me. You know, I'm having a great time here. So for me, it's too early to tell. I've only been here 3 months, but I'm making good friends and everything here. So yeah, enjoying it here a lot so far. Kind of anything with wheels, really, I think. You know, I grew up riding bikes. I was obsessed with like BMX and dirt bikes, motocross, mountain bikes and everything like that. I got into cars and I've spent a shit ton of money on cars over the years. I've still got a car back in Australia at my parents' place. It's a, you know, it's a little sports car. It's an appreciating asset. It's going up in value. I love it. Hopefully I can hang on to it for a while, but we'll see. I'll put a little picture of it up on the screen so you can see it. But that's my baby there. And then the thing I really like about travel is just like, it's meeting new people, you know. I love seeing new things and going to new places and just meeting new people for the first time. I'm a very social person, you know. I love going out and hanging out and partying and drinking, whatever, you know. I just really enjoy those experiences. I love eating out. I love food. I don't know if that's a hobby, but it's something I look forward to every day anyway. Never been married, no kids. I like being able to just sort of pick up and head off if I want to. You know, my life's very simple. I live out of like 2 bags and I quite enjoy that. So I'm not against the idea of either. You know, if I meet the right person, I can get married or have kids. I'm fine with that. But I'm not actively chasing that. So if I never get married or never have kids, I'm totally okay with that. I don't have a girlfriend, no. I date a lot. I enjoy dating. I really like meeting new people and having new experiences. I'm quite upfront with people like before I meet them to explain that, you know, I'm not looking for anything too serious. And I've met some amazing people. You know, some of my best friends to this day, I met through Tinder or met on a date or something like that. So it's a really good way to meet people. And I've now got friends all over the world from that. That's a tough one to compare because when I arrived in Korea, I was on cloud 9, you know, I was so excited. There must have been positive energy just flowing out of me. I met all these amazing people in my first week and most of them are still my friends now. So, you know, comparatively coming here, I came here and there's like lockdowns and everything and I haven't been able to settle anywhere. That being said, I've made great friends. You know, I met Dan in Bangkok and then I was down in Pattaya for a while and made great friends there that I miss already. So it's just tough to compare the two. You know, but nothing's open here as well. You know, I haven't been able to go out to bars and stuff and go mingle. You know, I'd like to meet Thai guys here. You know, I can meet girls quite easily, but meeting guys is more difficult. And because the bars aren't open, you know, if there's a bar open or a club open, it's much easier to meet people that way. You know, whereas we're in lockdown at the moment or restrictions and everything. So it just makes it a little bit more difficult. But I think that would change soon. Not a whole lot really, you know. I miss my family, I miss my friends. Yeah, nothing really comes to mind. I just spent a year there, you know. I've had enough of it by the end, so yeah, not a whole lot. Okay, hands down, the question I get asked the most. So let's talk money. I don't have a lot of it, by the way. I've seen people speculate in the comments, oh, I think he's, you know, got money invested in crypto or he's got real estate or anything like that. That's almost laughable to me because I've never had enough money to be able to invest in anything. You know, I listed all the countries I've been to before and basically my whole life I've been sort of, whenever I would start to get an amount of money, I'd go on a trip and sort of spend it all and come back and start working and try and save up and start again. So never been able to own real estate. I probably never will own real estate and I'm totally fine with that. But basically I just kind of worked before I left to go to Korea. When I was in Korea I did some odd jobs. You know, I worked in a restaurant for a few months and I mostly just lived off savings there. I would also usually go back to Australia about twice a year and when I was there I would do a bit of work. So I signed up to Uber to be an Uber driver and the great thing about that is you can do it whenever you want. You know, I can not use it for months and I come back, flip the app on and I start making money straight away. You get paid the next day even. To do that, I rent a car. So there's a place in Sydney and they do car rentals for Uber drivers. So how I would do it, I would get back to Sydney and the next day I would rent a car and you basically flip the app on and you start working. That day you start earning money. So being that the time I would come back to Australia, I was staying with family. I didn't have to pay rent. I was still paying rent in Korea, obviously, but it was really cheap there. So I would just be working. I'd try and put away as much as I could in the few weeks I was there and then basically shoot back and that would tie me over for quite a bit. I've always managed to live quite cheap. You know, Korea was very cheap to live. Thailand is incredibly cheap to live, so you don't need much. And coming over here, I only had a bit of money. I didn't come over here with a whole lot of money. It will run out, so I'm now making money off YouTube. It's not a whole lot, but it's enough to easily pay my rent and have a bit left over. So I'm hoping that by the time I run out of money, which will probably be towards the end of the year, that this YouTube will be bringing in enough for me to be able to support myself, to be able to travel. And if that doesn't work out, I'll probably have to get a job, I guess. So I've also got a car that I mentioned earlier. I've got a car back in Australia that's increasing in value. I sort of bought that when it was worth about $10,000. It's now worth around like $30,000 Australian, which is great. You know, that's always a backup. I guess I could sell that. I'm hoping to keep it until it's worth a shitload of money and then sell it, and then that'll fund me for another few years. So we'll see what happens there. But in terms of investments, you know, that's it. You know, I don't have like money piled up. I don't have anything. You know, I live quite a very basic lifestyle. Living here in Thailand can be really, really cheap. You know, and I'm able to keep going by doing that. So yeah, fingers crossed, you know, I can make more money off YouTube and get to a point where I'm fully self-funded by this. So I started a YouTube channel back in 2016, and I did it for fun. I actually started a YouTube to get more Instagram followers. I was very active on Instagram back then, and I thought YouTube would help me. Like, I was totally backwards for how I was thinking. And without knowing it, my channel was actually really successful. You know, within the first month I was getting videos that had like 80,000 views. So because I quite enjoyed Korean music, I was doing reactions to Korean hip hop videos and sort of speaking in English and explaining like what it was like and what I thought of the songs. I just did this for fun and had no idea about the success. You know, I enjoy making videos. I'm a creative person, so I always enjoyed that process. I did nothing with it, you know. I did like really, really well, and then I just let it go. I just sort of did it throughout this TV series, and then when it finished, I stopped doing it. You know, and I didn't capitalize on it at all. When I went to Korea, I started to make YouTube videos again, but I didn't know what I was doing, and I didn't know what I know now. You know, the things you need to be able to succeed and do well and to get your videos out there for your audience to see. It's quite difficult with all the algorithms and everything like that. So if I knew now what I knew back in Korea, I may have been more successful, but I basically gave up on it too early. I really enjoyed making the videos. I just didn't get the success I'd wanted straight away, so I kind of gave up on it. And then I went through another little phase of making videos. After I was back in Australia, I was chatting to my dad, and he was like, "Oh, I love your videos. I watch every single one of them." And I was like, "God, I should make more of them." And so I made them more for myself and for my family to see and everything like that. You know, I'm my own biggest fan. You know, I love watching my old videos again because I can relive those experiences, and you know, it's sort of memories caught in time. So when I came here with the purpose of ideally doing well on YouTube. You know, I learned a lot in the time that I wasn't really doing it, and I've studied a lot. You know, I talk with Dan every day. He's well into it as well, and you know, we bounce ideas off each other, and you know, we help each other with our experiences and everything like that. So for now, I'm loving it. I'm really enjoying doing this. I pour about 50 hours a week into this, maybe sometimes more, but I enjoy every minute of it. Well, maybe not every single minute. I enjoy most of it, but I definitely enjoy the end results, and I love having my memories here in videos. Yep. Yeah, I get hate, but that's fine. You know, I knew the whole time that was going to happen. You know, I follow like really big successful YouTubers, and they make amazing content, and I see the hate that they get, and I've heard them talk about the hate that they get. So I thought, man, if these people that make amazing stuff, if they get the hate they get, I better buckle up, you know, because I'm going to get a lot of it. So I don't get much. I get a couple of comments a day, but I basically, like, it's never affected me. I've never taken anything personally, and I've never read a comment that's affected my mood or made me feel bad or anything like that. I don't take it personally at all. I've got a 0 strike policy. I just block people straight away. If you say anything that I don't like, or you know, if you talk about one of the people in my videos or friends or something like that, you're out. The hardest part for me is to not bark back at people. You know, there's some people I just want to tell them to go fuck themselves, but it's not going to do me any good. It doesn't do anyone any good. So you don't feed the trolls. So basically I just block them and forget about it. So more of the same, I hope. You know, everything's going really well. Everything's trending in the right direction. I'm getting great views on my videos, especially for how many subscribers I have. I'm getting way more views than subscribers, which is a great thing. Everything's trending in the right direction. So I'm really happy with how it's all going. So I just want to thank everyone that's been following along the journey. You know, I'm having the time of my life doing this, and you know, enjoying the success. I've been working really hard at this, and seeing everything trending in the right direction is just such a great feeling for me. You know, I dreamed about this for a long time, and I do work really hard at it. So I do appreciate all of it. You know, I get great, you know, engagement, likes, comments, follows, everything. It's been amazing. So thank you very much to everyone that, you know, that's been following along the journey. I'll have to do another one of these at 10K, right? Hopefully it's not too long. So I guess that's it for me. So as always, thanks for watching. See you next time.